definitely, yeah.
I just want to probably talk about religion and God. I used to be a very religious guy initially, for the first 15 years of my life. And after that, after witnessing the atrocities and the things that happen around us, I really don't believe in it anymore. I'm an atheist. What I wanted to tell was, I feel people should give up the prejudice or bias based on religion or God, simply because you are actually fighting for a concept which you're not even sure if it's there or not. You see a lot of things, bad things happen around the world. To actually go and fight for it and actually spend so much of your time and life on it, on something that you're not even sure if it exists or not, is somehow doesn't sound reasonable for me.
What faith did you used to have? What faith were you?
I used to be a Hindu.
Right.
And then I don't believe in a concept called God anymore. I think that life is sort of a random bubble. There's no such thing as, good things will happen to good people, bad things will happen to bad people. It's just that we are all here and nothing is guaranteed, everything is uncertain.
That's Money talking about his experience of losing his Hindu faith, or walking away from his Hindu faith. This becomes a bit of a theme later on. There'll be more from Money next after Whitney Houston. 10:05. So this week I went to Wellington's Leisure Centre, sat on a table in the cafe just to the left of the main front door there, and met some really interesting people, including Money, who used to be a Hindu and had quite strong views about how he feels religion leads to violence, which is the kind of the next stage of the conversation.
If someone were going to make a list of the religions that are most likely to go and fight other people, Hinduism is not going to be at the top of the list.
That's true.
I know most religions say they're religions of peace anyway. But I'm not aware of any major conflicts involving Hindus unless I'm not paying attention. Are there conflicts between Hindus and other religions?
That's right. Yeah, it does happen in India. If you see, in general, so there is definitely a sort of a conflict between Hindu and Muslims. It's probably done for political reasons as well. The politicians probably themselves might, they would never want it to be settled so that they have something to, talk about, or they have an agenda to go with. Whilst you might not hear in anything in particular about Hinduism, so there is always some sort of a communal tension everywhere you go, and, you see in India, not so prevalent in the urban places or anything, but, it is still there in people. I wouldn't say, everybody is not so open and everybody is not so obviously forward thinking. There is still so many people who are religious, who have their prejudice. I mean, I have nothing against people who follow their faith and do anything about it, but it's only when it comes to a point where you're actually obstructing somebody's life, where it becomes problematic. That's
people who do follow a faith would say that you're going to fight for something, or you're standing up for something that you can't even be sure of. People who have a real profound faith would say that they are sure of it.
Yes, what I'm saying is, if those people who are so sure of it, and if they're so sure of a concept called God and they know there is somebody, don't you think it's the God's responsibility to make sure that their religion will be followed? Why are they having to fight? If you're so believing on something, would you rather say, okay, I'm going to leave it aside and I have a faith. If this God is the supreme one, if my God is supreme one, He will take care of it, won't He?
Yes.
That's where I have no problem in people following something and spending their amount of time in prayer. It's all fine, but it's only when you think and you're trying to enforce that mine is better than yours. In some way or other, you're saying
you're
that,
trying to control other people, or trying to influence other people, trying to subjugate other people because of it. Because I mean, the theory is that if God is God, He doesn't need people going around killing on His behalf to be God. Was it difficult for you to leave your faith behind? Was it an issue for your family, or?
It isn't actually. It's like probably as much as my parents are still religious.
Right.
They pretty much go to temple every auspicious occasion. When it's even my birthday, they would go to temple and pray for myself.
Oh, right.
It's just that we sort of agree to disagree on that. I mean, I try to tell them that you're actually wasting a lot of time and energy and money. You wouldn't believe the amount of people who actually donate the money to the churches and the temples. I would rather go give it to a charity because you see a direct impact of that doing something to someone's life. But actually giving it to temples is not something that I'm quite fond of. But they have been living that way for 60 years, there's 50 years. There's no way I can change it. But I try to tell my viewpoint and say that, you see, this has happened to somebody here. Say probably he was as good as a devoted man towards God like you. But there was nothing that stopped something happening for him. So I used to understand their thinking. I try to understand why is that they have such a firm belief and faith on it.
All right. Man, it's been great to meet you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Jim. It was a pleasure to meet you. Hope you as well. Okay.
Okay. Money, the former Hindu who I met in Wellington on Tuesday.